After years of spending sprees and rising prices, Americans are finally flipping the script, and this is called revenge savings. It's becoming a new financial trend of 2025. With economic uncertainty and inflation still looming, more people are focused on building emergency funds and boosting their savings. And so, how can you join that saving wave and actually make it stick? That's always the key. Here to help us break it down is money and business expert Derrick Kinney this afternoon. Derrick, great as always to have you. What exactly is, for people who haven't heard of this, what exactly is revenge saving, and why are we seeing the big shift right now in how Americans are thinking about money?
Yeah, Jason, great to see you. So many people are familiar with revenge spending. That's a pretty easy one to process. But revenge saving, what is that? So basically right now there's sort of this cultural vibe that says with inflation and tariffs and possible job losses, you need to protect yourself. No one else is going to. And so this revenge saving is saying, look, I'm going to say to the culture and the economy, I'm in control. I'm going to save money and not spend it. And so the key is right now finding simple ways, practical ways that you can do, and even with your family, to save a couple dollars a day. That way you're saving money and not spending it is the key right now.
Couple of dollars a day, and that does add up. So a lot of people, Derrick, would love to save more. It sounds like a great aspiration, but they feel like they're just stretched too thin right now to even begin thinking about putting more money aside. So what would you say to someone who's sort of in that category about the simplest way to start saving when money feels tight?
Yeah, if you feel like you're barely making ends meet, it's really falls on deaf ears for me to tell you, hey, find ways to save money. That really doesn't add much value to our viewers. So you want to do what I like to call capture and keep, and that is look at where you're spending money right now. For example, your automobile insurance, your cell phone, your cable company, all those companies, call them and say, look, I'm considering changing providers. Is there a discount you can give me to keep me as a customer? So you're already spending the money, but it's a way to save it and then use that savings to pay off some higher interest debt or to build up that savings account. The other thing to look at is subscriptions. Go through your credit card statement and ask yourself, is this a required expense or is this optional? Many times people can find up to $50, maybe $150 a month of spending they could start turning to savings pretty quickly.
All right, so the next question is, Derrick, once you've identified some money that you can start putting away, there are so many places that you could stash that extra cash, like a regular savings account or maybe brokerage account or a high yield savings. It can be kind of intimidating maybe. Where should people start to put those emergency funds once they've identified them?
Yeah, the key, Jason, is to keep it simple. If you make things too complex, nobody does it because it just sounds too scary. So the bottom line is you just want to park it into a savings account. But here's the key. This is the magic. You want it to be out of sight, out of mind. If it's as easy as the ATM, many people take the savings and they start to spend it. So this high yield savings account, or even like an online bank where there's one more step needed for you to get access to it, can cause you to question yourself and say, maybe I don't need to spend this. Then your savings grows. And typically those accounts pay up to 3 to 4%, typically quite a bit more than a typical bank savings account does.
All right, I like that. Make it hard to get your hands on that money again. Before we let you go here, Derrick, we always love to ask this. What's the biggest mistake that you see people making when it specifically comes to saving money, and how do we avoid that mistake?
Yeah, don't go to one crazy extreme or the other. Listen, if you feel like when the paycheck comes in, you've already spent 95% of it, number one, don't beat yourself up. Number two is make small steps. Small steps lead to big results. Maybe it's, I'm not going to spend $5 on something today, and I intentionally save that. You do that over the course of a month, and you've saved $150. And now you're starting to save money. The key is small steps. If you think too big, you're going to get depressed, anxiety is going to come up, and you're going to feel like a financial failure. We don't want that for our viewers.
All right, but we know, Derrick, that revenge can be so sweet, especially when it's revenge savings. Can't be sweeter than that. Thanks, man. Really appreciate it.